Hello and welcome to SML The Sit Down. I am Primetime 000, joined by one of the most respected men in the SML today, Matt. How are you doing, man?
Good, man. It's been a long time. I'm waiting for you to ask for the sit down with me. So this is great.
This is going to be, I think, one of the most iconic episodes in SML Sit Down history. Matt, let me just ask you this. I think everybody wants
Oh,
to know.
hold on, Prime. Sorry. Brought a couple of friends. I hope you don't mind.
Yeah?
Brought a couple of friends here. If you don't mind them joining the show,
Oh!
I feel like some people are going to need a little bit of a reminder. So if you're good with it, can they stay?
I'm good, man. I think
Yeah.
this
Okay.
is this
They're,
is
they're going to
good.
stay the whole time.
This is
Okay.
awesome. Matt, you're young, you're hip, you're cool. How old are you, man? Everyone asks me, how old's Matt?
Ah, man, that's a good question. I am actually 40 years old, the big 40. I
I'm
was
the
born in
button.
1985.
85.
Yeah.
What cartoons or what shows were you watching as a wee lad?
DuckTales. There was a cat like detective show, Bonkers, or someone's gonna know what it was, but I can't remember. That was a big one that I watched like before school. I watched Sports Center and then that cartoon. I think it was called Bonkers. Um, Rugrats, Rocko's Modern Life. Man, Nickelodeon was the thing to watch. Are You Afraid of the Dark? Legends of the Hidden Temple. It had everything, but Rocko's Modern Life was my favorite.
Do you play the Rugrats game on like PS1? You know what I'm talking? Reptar's
I
Rage.
think I I think I did, and I think it was awful, but
Yeah, I think it was bad.
yeah.
What about were you into the Pokemon thing, Pokemania at the time?
I never got into Pokemon or what was it, Digimon or
Yeah.
any of the I never got into like Magic or any of those card games. Here's the thing, and I don't know if Magic is similar to Pokemon. I don't think I have the imagination for it.
Oh
Like
yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons. I never got into that. I don't. I'm not. I need to visualize. Like I need to play a video game and see and have that visualization. I can't do the imagination stuff.
I didn't know. Yeah, I mean, back then it seemed like everybody either owned Pokemon Red or Pokemon Blue. I just didn't know if you had owned one of them or not. But it's all right.
Oh, if I did, I would have bought Pokemon Blue.
Okay, thanks,
Yeah,
thanks. Okay,
for sure.
so
Yeah.
and let's just end. This is our first sponsorship question of the day. This is our Gilbert question of the day. Matt, where does the name Matt come from in your PSN? Why is your name Matt 54987?
Well, that is a very Gilbert question. My name is Matt. I think that came from the Bible. Um, and so 54987 though. So when I first got internet, and this is when it went, you had to dial up to the internet. Okay, I tried to sign up for AOL Instant Messenger or AIM as we old
Ah,
folk called it. It was an instant messaging service, and when you sign up, they say, "What do you want your username to be?" And I just typed Matt, right? That's my name. I'm like 11 years old and it said, sorry, that name's already taken, right? And so it said, you can choose another one, or here's like five or six that we've chosen for you. And one of the ones it had chosen for me was Matt 54987. And as I mentioned, I don't have an imagination. So I was like, I don't know. Matt was my only option. So I went with what they gave me, which was Matt 54987.
I didn't know that. Interesting.
Yeah, some people think it's my zip code. I've
That's
gotten
what I
that a
thought.
lot. It has no correlation to my life other than it's what AOL Instant Messenger suggested for me
Wow.
when Matt was taken.
Wow, I didn't know that actually. So when did you start? When did you start playing Madden?
Oh boy, I remember I started playing Madden when I was really young. Probably by myself with like Super Nintendo, and then just playing offline. And then I would remember going over to my friend's house. My buddy, he lived right across actually from the school. And where I grew up in a small town, so the middle school and the high school were the same building. And so he lived right across the school for almost my entire life. And so I'd go over to his house on like lunch or after school, and we'd play like this is before online, right? You couldn't
Yep.
play Madden online. We'd play like offline franchise, but back then you could both control multiple guys on the team. So he'd be the quarterback, I'd be the receiver, and we would just dominate the computer through like a season or whatever.
hmm So obviously you got into the SML at some point. What was the connect? Was it Grams? What was the connection there that got you into the SML?
It was actually Mike. I was in a league with Mike, Grams, Tom, or Trick, as you guys know him, Finns, RD, bunch of guys, and it eventually ran its course. I don't know if Mike just kind of got tired of running a league, and at that point, I was done. I was like, I'm a one league kind of guy. I enjoyed I enjoyed Mike as a commissioner, and I enjoyed the league. I enjoyed the guys, and when he called it quits, I basically was ready to call it quits. And then Mike, in our little group chat, had reached out and started trying to recruit us to the SML because he was in it. And I remember him sending a video of you. It was like a recruitment video of you in your car at night, and you
Yeah.
were talking about the SML, and I was like, this seems a little cringy. I don't know, Mike. And he just kept pushing and pushing, and eventually I got into the primer and in QB Studs division, and it just kind of went from there.
Yeah, I remember I was getting pizza when I recorded that video, actually.
Yeah.
So you obviously joined the SML. At 40 years old, you've played a lot of Madden in your career. Some would say you're on your back nine. How long do you plan on keep going? Like, could this be your last cycle? Have you thought about that at all?
No, I mean I really haven't because for me it's like I don't take Madden that seriously. I think most people would probably know that. Like I if I boot up to win, but if I lose, I really don't care. Like if I win, I'm happy. If I lose, I mean it's I would rather win, but I just don't really care. I boot up MLB, I flood a couple of kids or whatever, and then I feel better, right? So
Mhm.
I, the fact that I don't get too up or too down, I feel like I can play it for a long time. I also have a lot of free time. I don't really have anybody or anything tugging at my time. So, I will say that if the SML disappeared tomorrow, I would never buy Madden again. Um, I will play probably as long as the SML does. There's no other, if you booted me tomorrow, that would be it. I wouldn't even try to look for other leagues. I see NYT posting screenshots when he's in other leagues, and I'm like, I couldn't do it. Like, I could not do that kind of drama and the hassle and the gameplay. So, no, I don't have an end date. I'm going to play. I don't know if I'll make it as long as Woods. I mean, that's
Long
what,
time.
33 years or so away.
Yeah.
But I have no vision of retiring
Uh,
anytime soon.
what what's your crowning? Do you have a favorite moment in SML that you've had, whether it's a win or even something you witnessed?
Getting into the SML was pretty big. I remember you messaging me. QB Stud kind of told me, if you keep it up, you'll eventually make it. And I think QB Stud actually, if he didn't hold power back then, he at least made it sound like he did. So getting the call up was cool. The message from you. Honestly, my favorite moment might be, it's not winning the Super Bowls. I think my favorite moment is, and you're going to remember this
The
because it
pick
involves
six, isn't
you.
it? Is it the interception?
Yeah, it's when I was the Dolphins and you were the Chargers, and I knew you were going to throw that curl route, and I was on Javon Holland, and I completely sold out for it, and you threw it, and I user picked it for six. I can't remember if that was a playoff game or not, but you always get a lot of people watching, so I knew everyone was watching. I was on camera, yell. I just started yelling, "Give me my ball! Give me my ball!" Um, that's one of my favorite moments. Obviously, Dan's fat finger in the Super Bowl, although that was disappointing for us all because of the result.
Yeah.
And then I think the easy one and one that I'll never ever forget, and if it gets posted in chat, my gut hurts laughing. Woods shaking with his field goal meter shaking, not just because it's funny, but because you and I think it was Paulie on the
Yeah.
call start freaking out that it's shaking. I can't keep it together when I watch that.
I was like, I'm commentating the game, and I'm like, oh, Paulie, look, his finger's shaking. And then Paulie, in natural Paulie fashion, at like freight train decibel level, yelling, he's like, Prime, do you see his hands are shaking? He's like blasting in my ear. And I'm just like laughing as the kick goes sideways. It was like a whole event for me in the booth, but it was fun. Why not? Why don't we get any more Matt video commentary? I feel like that was a good little stretch there. You had the iconic "my ball, give me my ball, I win," and it was ended my undefeated season at the time. I think. What happened to video Matt?
Yeah, I don't really know. I just kind of packed away. I switched monitors, bought a new monitor, a new desk, and I kind of cleaned everything off and kind of put everything back together. And I never put the webcam back up. But if people want me to get back on video, I'd be happy to. It's easy to do. OBS. I've just been streaming from my PlayStation. I don't usually grab my PC. My PC is right here, so I could certainly use OBS to do that. So um, happy to bring it back. I try to commentate my games even off video, but for some reason I can't get the audio to come through when I stream from the PlayStation. I don't know. I feel like my settings are right, but maybe I'll
Oh,
just go back to OBS. Maybe my
yeah.
next game I'll do that.
There's a little button you have to click, otherwise it'll mute you. I got some fan questions here. Then we're gonna get to the meat and potatoes of the show. Fan question number one. Well, why aren't you giving K-pop a chance?
I don't know what K-pop is, Prime. Can you
K-pop
be more
deep.
specific? Can you use it in a sentence?
Uh, let's pretend a guy such as Johnny enjoys K-pop Demon Hunters, and he thinks that you should give it a chance.
If it involves Johnny, I don't want any part of it.
All right. Well, sorry to whoever asked that
Unless it's a
question.
trade. Unless it's a trade, Johnny. Let me if you want to trade, let me
First
know.
round draft
Reach out.
pick.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
next fan question. That's not Johnny's question. What's your top five favorite single player games of all time?
Come on. Um, Top five favorite single player games of all time. Okay, this is going to be a lot of recency bias here because you're putting me on the spot, and we've got a short show here. Number five, Alan Wake 2. Um, Number four, Lunar Silver Star Story Complete.
Okay.
Uh, Three, I'm going to group them. No, number three, Elden Ring. Number two, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. And number one, Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Wow. Those games are good,
Those
I
two,
guess.
those two Zelda games are literal game in perfection.
Which one am I most likely to finish?
Neither one of them.
Dude, it's bad, man.
They are they are very open world. They don't give you very much direction on what to do. I don't think you would enjoy it. And I generally don't like those kind of games. Nintendo just does them very well. And funny enough, Elden Ring is also the exact same, and it probably gives you even less direction. I just really like the Souls games, and I felt like Elden Ring just did it the best. Yeah,
Um, no, I like the God of War games, and
God of War games are good.
but
Final Fantasy VII. I love that. I got that with my PlayStation 1 when it launched, and that was a fantastic game. I played through the remake. Very emotional. It's a very emotional game. Very good story. Really gets you going in it, and it has a point that gets very emotional. Very, very good game, Final Fantasy VII. Probably should have been on there, but I was on the spot, had to wing it. But the
yeah.
Zelda games, for sure, are at the top.
That just proves you weren't fed the questions beforehand, so you don't know how deep these questions are going to get here in a
Uh-huh.
second. So,
No.
I got two more fan questions here. Thoughts on gameplay toughness and sim play around the league? Like, I guess how do you feel about the state of gameplay in the SML?
I think it's fine. I mean, hey, look, it's a video game at the end of the day. It doesn't replicate real football. We're here to try and replicate real football, but we're never going to get that to 100%, right? Look, somebody could say, "Oh, that's not sim." Well, you know what is sim? Paying offensive linemen big money, and nobody does it, right? Very few guys do it, right? Everybody else just cuts their expensive O lineman, signs that 70 overall guy in free agency or drafts one, and they don't want to pay him big money, right? That's not sim. So I hate when we get granular to every single little thing that's sim.
Yeah,
And look, not everybody's perfect. Everybody's playing a video game. Everybody's trying to win. And so here's the thing: if someone does something like if I'm playing a game and then there's one instant where the guy instantly rolls out or instantly runs up the middle with this quarterback, it's one play. Like
yeah,
I'm not expecting my guy to be perfect, right? Um, what I don't like is like you're just doing the same thing over and over. You're just running trips because it's the best, and you're throwing the instant seam, right? Now, if I'm in cover three, that seam might always be open, right? Or if I'm in cover three and playing everybody back, and you're just throwing in the flats, well, that's kind of what I'm giving you, right? I need to make that adjustment. I think overall the league is in a really good spot, and I think people just. I think what I would like to see, and I've said this on other shows, when you lose a game, take 24 hours if you have an immediate reaction, oh, he cheesed me, money play, he rolled out and stopped. Take 24 hours, go back to the stream, watch the play or the plays that you're thinking about, and then see how you feel about them. Instead of, oh, I lost, I'm going to DM somebody and say this guy's a cheeser. You're most emotional after you lose, so take some time to think about it. Um, I uh, Again, I think that's why I like this league. I feel like everybody here's for the same reason. Nobody's here to try and cheese everybody else. All of our games are streamed and they are watched. It doesn't matter what time of day it is. Somebody is watching your
yeah. It's
game, and
crazy.
if they're not, they can go back and watch it, right? So like. I think it's in a good spot. It's a long-winded way of saying I think it's in a good spot. I just think that guys get too emotional after a game, especially a loss, and start wanting to point fingers at the other person instead of looking in the mirror sometimes.
No, I think I agree with everything you're saying there. And I got one more fan question. Then I've got two prime Matt relationship questions. And we're going to get to the meat and potatoes, I promise, to the fans out there. So, final fan question of the day, top three most liked and top three most hated SML members, not including Prime.
All time,
Sure. They didn't say.
top three most liked of all time, you said?
Yep.
Mike was number one. Uh, Fins is number two. And I'm going to go Dan, number three.
Wow. Damn.
Uh, yeah, I think Dan's a really good dude. Um, Top three most disliked. Number one, Biz. Number two, Biz. No, just kidding. Number two, I'm gonna say Monty, not because I dislike him, but he always like, I don't know if it was personal, but he would like pause for like 40 minutes during our games. He'd say like be right back, and then he would never come back, and I'm just sitting there staring at the screen for 30 minutes, like he's taking a freaking lunch break
Yeah.
from our game. And then my other most misliked, disliked, I should say, Dookie.
Wow. That's a good one. That's a good one. Um,
I don't dislike a lot of people, so
yeah.
I say those dislikes very, very
Lightly.
softly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you remember when you first started? We had a bit of a rivalry. It was kind of like you had the candle light up moment before the playoff game. You beat me a couple times in the playoffs, I think, to start. And at some point, the Matt and Prime bromance became a thing. What happened there? I really don't remember what kind of sparked that. Was it just you trying to get on people's nerves? What kind of sparked the whole thing?
Well, I mean, I feel like yeah, I mean, we did have the infamous back and forth. I still have that clip on my phone that I poorly made of you saying Matt's going down in the playoffs on Total Access. This is back when Tiny was on Total Access, not
Wow.
me. And I clipped it after I beat you, and I had the Undertaker gong and all that. I still have that video. Um, so people don't realize this. We didn't dislike each other, but we used to be rivals. And I think at some point, I think that rivalry just kind of it went away, and it just became more of a I guess a bromance. But yeah, I mean, it was funny getting under everybody's skin. It's kind of like what Stone Cold when he became friends with Vince McMahon. I think some people kind of took it that way, but uh, I don't know. I, I don't know. I feel like our rivalry. You're just always good every single cycle, and I don't think I can always like when that happened. I was the Patriots. And that was when I had PJ's team, and add him to my top three
Yeah.
most disliked people. That team sucked. But yeah, I don't know. I felt like I was more competitive back then. And I don't know. I don't really know what happened. There was never anything behind the scenes. We never said
Yeah, it was never
let's stop
playing.
going at each other or anything like that. It just naturally happened. And for the most part now I've just been pissing people off and it's fun.
Yeah, no, it's good. Now it's time for the reason why you're here, Matt. And everybody who is interested in the show and with a hard hitting question, it's time to turn up your volume, tell your wife to shut up, put the kids to bed, because it's time for SML to sit down to get lit. Matt, you have a unique style of play, and some believe that with your style, such as running up the middle without your quarterback, sometimes not taking timeouts at the right time, allegedly, it leads to you maybe trying to do the noble thing, but maybe not the most realistic thing, like avoiding running up the middle with your quarterback in big plays, no play action passes. Do you believe you don't have a realistic style of play?
Again, I think it depends on what you consider a realistic style of play. Is running trips and bunch every single game over and over and just cycling through the same old plays like everybody else, is that realistic? I watch a lot of streams where somebody has the ball at their own 20-yard line with 10 seconds left in the half with all of their timeouts, and they start throwing passes. Is that realistic? Most NFL teams are going to take a knee. Guess who takes a knee? Me. Or they'll run a shotgun inside zone out of trips, and then call a timeout when they gain 8 yards because suddenly they started a drive because now they're 8 yards further and they're at the 28 with 4 seconds left, and they're going to throw a bomb to try and get a pass interference. Look, I think we all, again, do we all play the same? I think actually a lot of people do. But if you want to pick apart what's sim and what's not, I can turn that right back around to a lot of people in this league, which again, I don't disagree with. If there's 10 seconds left in the second half and you're on your own 20 and you want to go trips and start throwing the ball, have at it. But I don't think NFL teams are going to do that.
That's good. Matt, have you ever tanked an SML game?
Nope. I would be, like I said, go into every game to win. I don't know why I would ever tank a game.
Would you ever consider running play action passes, and or why don't you really ever do that?
So here's my issue. So with play action passes, we actually have a rule that prevents you from running play action if it's 3rd and 7 or more. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Why do you, this is you're supposed to ask me the questions, but do you know why we have that rule?
Because it's not realistic and it can manipulate the defenders in certain pass situations.
Yes. So play action. So it's not realistic, but we only banned it because people were doing it, right? So 3rd and 18 or 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 10, I'm running play action. Why would somebody on 3rd and 10 run a play action pass? Because it manipulates the defense, right? Or it increases the chance of the defense acting stupid, which is what play action does. You hit me with a play action pass in our game the other night, and you hit me on a streak to Jamison Williams.
Yeah,
I bet you if that wasn't play action, you would not have completed that pass. I would bet money on it.
probably.
So to me, I think play action, and again, I don't care if my opponents are in play action. I've played Gutta, and have I ever complained about him? No. Guy runs more play action
Every
than he
drive.
runs non-play action. Yep. And I don't care. But to me, it manipulates the AI, whether it's 3rd and 7 or not. And so I don't do it.
Okay.
It's not
Uh,
even in my playbook.
would you you did have one run up the middle against a former SML member. I think you had considered going to a Catholic church and bathing in holy water afterward. What would you ever consider running up the middle as a quarterback again? Or let me phrase this: it's the Super Bowl. It's against a guy you're not a fan of. You're at the 5 yard line. You can run in. It's 4th down. You got to go for it. Would you consider it? Like, would any, like they say Jesus was tempted or possibly tempted at times. Do you ever have that temptation? Like in our game, you could have ran it, picked up the. Is there any bit of Matt that's tempted in competitive situations, or is it just straight? You're not tempted
Mm.
by it.
Not versus you, and not versus most guys. I mostly just don't want to win that way. I think I can win without doing that. Um, Now, the one you're referencing was really just honestly, I think I just panicked. Now, I did say I was on audio that time, and I did say "screw you" to the person I was playing when I did it. And yes, I did that because it was that person. So never say never. Here's the thing, though. I never, and this is if you ask, you're probably going to ask me maybe other questions that pertain to this. I never let the situation dictate my decision. Um, if I don't care if it's the Super Bowl or week 1 or whatever week we just played, I would throw that ball away even if it was the Super Bowl. Um, Now, there might be some people where I don't respect them as much or they did something dirty to me earlier. Like for instance, I decline roughing the kicker calls if it's a computer. Okay. But if I played somebody who accepted one versus me earlier in the game, you ain't getting that anymore. Or if I decline your roughing the kicker and then because you did field goal block and then you do field goal block again, I'm not declining the second one. You got your freebie. Stop doing field goal block. So never say never, but it would need the right situation and most importantly the right person. But whether that's week 1 or the Super Bowl, it takes the right person.
I got a couple more questions as we wind down here at 24 minutes already. In honor of the greatest basketball player of all time, Kobe Bean Bryant. I know you would agree with that. Um, the 4th down thing. Um, Obviously, you kick it in situations where a lot of people would go for it. In late game situations, you go decide to play defense, yada, yada, yada. Is that is that your strategy that you just have always believed in, or has part of it been your strategy and then the troll Matt comes out, and you're kind of now this character, and you almost do it to annoy people too.
It's a good question. I don't remember how I played 10 years ago. That's always been how I've played in the SML. Basically, if it's fourth down, I look at is the game mathematically over if I don't go for it? And unless the answer is yes, I will always not go for it. My stance on that is strictly look, defense in Madden is hard. Defense in Madden is always hard. It's extremely hard right now. And if you stop me 3 times, you deserve the ball back. I don't think I went for it a single fourth down last season. I don't think I've gone for one this season. If the game is mathematically over, then I will go for it. And just like I said last time, it doesn't matter if it's week one, if it's the wild card, if it's you, because I think Dan put in the chat, prime isn't Woods or whatever. I don't care. I never didn't go through my head on that fourth down when I kicked the field goal against you. Oh, this is prime, and it didn't go through my head last time. This is Woods. Well, maybe a little bit. This is Woods because I can stop him easy. But like, I don't care who the opponent is. I don't care what week it is. I don't care if it's the Super Bowl. I'm just if the game is not over, by me not going for it, I will punt it or kick it or whatever. Um, Now, if the game is going to be over, if I punt or kick, to me that would be tanking. So I will always go for it in that situation. But if I've got the timeouts, I'm not going to go for it because again, you stopped me 3 times in Madden, you deserve the football.
Guys. That's good stuff. I do. I remember, and I'm gonna give these two Matt moments, two impressive Matt moments, and we're gonna have an open mic. It was, I think it was a fourth down against QP in the Super Bowl. Matt went for it, had to have it. He throws a 20-yard post route, picks up the first down, keeps things moving. And then there was a moment against me. It wasn't a fourth down, but I think it was the Patriots days. I remember this very vividly because I would change it so much now. I was in a cover two shell. There was about 12 seconds left in a divisional round game. Colts Patriots. You hit a backside dig, about a 15-yard backside dig over my yellow zone, hit him in the back of the end zone or at the goal line for a touchdown. I hated you at that time. I hated Matt at that point. But regardless, Matt, we're over 26 minutes. Anything you have to say for the league or just that you want to get off your chest?
Well, thanks for bringing up that fourth down. That's this one, by the way. Beating QP with his favorite team, LOL. No, I mean, look, a lot of people question my decision making. A lot of people that don't even have one
Yep.
friend, let alone two. Um, but hey, I play the way I play. I think in most cases it's my best chance to win. I also noticed a trend where especially as the cycle gets later every season, people and this every game being streamed that everybody's pretty much running the same thing. You see it in streams. Oh, I really like that play. Remember the cross angle screen from
Yeah.
last cycle? I think
Yeah.
it was cross angle. Look, I don't know if it was Bomber or whoever started running that play, and then everybody added it to their playbook. It's like when I saw that formation, I could almost get a user pick because if they weren't a good player and a smart player, I would just pick them off from it, right? So I just started to see that it became a copycat league, and it was the same thing over and over. And I thought, what if I do something a little bit different? And I've always been a defensive guy, and that's why I always, if I, like against you, I kicked that field goal to go down from 5 to 2. But hey, if I get a stop or a fumble or something like that, boom, I win the game. Um, so that's just always been my style. I give everybody a little bit of a different. I don't have trips in my playbook or bunch or I give you a little hell. The way I play is given its own name. I don't know who if anybody else in the league has their own name for how they play. I haven't heard of Dan Ball or Bomber Ball or Johnny Ball, but there's Matt Ball, right? I feel like I'm the only one that does it, and it sucks when I lose, but when I win, it's like when I punted versus Woods. I was like, when I beat him, I was like, that had to hurt even worse. And if you go back and watch his stream when I punt there on that fourth down at the end of the game,
Yep.
he's screaming at me not to punt because he knows what I'm about to do to him. So that's kind of my thing. But here's the thing: I play the way I play, and I don't care how you play, man. If you guys want to take off with your quarterback, take off with your quarterback. If you want to go for it on fourth down, go for it on fourth down. If it's within the rules, I, who am I to complain, man? I'm playing the way I want to play. It's my decision, not yours. Don't hold back because I'm not going to run with my quarterback, so you can't. That's one thing I've always admired about you. Hey, if you don't want to run with your quarterback, that's your decision. But I'll take off with AR. I don't care. Um, and that's how I want people to play. I don't want them to feel like uptight because if I run with my quarterback, Matt's going to complain. You find me a time I ever did that. I never
You just
have.
don't.
So
Yeah. And guys, that is Matt54987. You can say what you want about him, but he has 2 Simbardi trophies. He's the most respected man in the SML. He calls it how he sees it. He does what he does. There's guys like Dan He with 800 hours in the game, 900 hours in the game, and still hasn't won more Simbardis in a cycle than Matt has. That is Matt54987. Matt, thanks for clearing the air, clearing your name, and thanks for joining SML to Sit Down today.
Thanks for having me.